All right, we got to work with these imaginary numbers, and when you're working with these to simplify them, it's all based on the first four powers. I to the first, that's just I squared, -1. Now, I to the third power is kind of a hard one to remember. This is -I, but the most important one is I to the fourth. I to the fourth power, +1, he is the golden child. You gotta have him, I to the fourth is 1. This is how the pattern works. It just keeps repeating itself. And every multiple of 4 turns out to be +1. So if you had like I to the 8th, that would be +1. If you had I to the 20th, that would be +1. Every multiple of 4, like if you had I to the 400th, that's +1. So most important one to remember, fourth power, every multiple 4 turns out +1. Like I to the 8,000 equals +1. Okay, let's do some of these problems. All right, you're going to get a value of I. Let's just say we got I to the 23rd power. So I'm going to show you how to simplify this. Everything's based on I to the fourth. It's kind of like the Price is Right. We need the closest multiple of 4 without going over. So give me a multiple of 4 without going over. The closest one, 16, 20, 24 goes over. So closest multiple of 4 will be I to the 20th. Can't go over. It's like the Price is Right. So we've got 20 of them, but there's 23. So we have 3 more I's to talk about. Here's 20 of them. Here's the other 3. Gives us 23. To simplify this, I to the 20th is a multiple of 4. It's automatically a +1. I to the third we have memorized from example 1. I to the third is -I. So it's real important that you have those first 4 stone cold, got them down, memorized. I to the third is -I. 1 times -I, that's just going to be -I. That's your answer. Let's do another. Let's say we've got, how about a bigger number? How about I to the 94th power? So our job is find the closest multiple of 4 without going over. 94 is not going to work. It's not a multiple of 4. 92 is. So 92 is what we want. So 92, and then you have to get all the way up to 94, so you need 2 more. So get your closest multiple of 4, like 84, 88, 92, 96. 92 is the closest without going over. 2 more will add to be 94. Now once you have this, you're good to go. This is a multiple of 4, which means it's automatically a +1. Here's I squared, and from our first example, I squared equals -1. So 1 times -1, -1's our answer. So as long as you got your first 4 down and you know your multiples of 4, this really ain't going to be too bad. Let's do some more. All right, let's get something else up here. How about, oh, they're going to try to get you. Let's say they try to trick you with an I to the 48th. They'll try to slide this in on the assignment. I to the 48, oh, it is a multiple of 4. Like it divides by 4 nice and neat. Like 48 divided by 4 is 12. So whenever it is a multiple of 4, you don't even have to keep going. You're just like, oh, it's a multiple of 4. That's equal to 1. So they try to sneak a few of those in on us. Don't fall for that. All right, let's get back to it. Let's do number 5. What do we got for 5? I to the 81st. So here's I to the 81st. Again, closest multiple of 4. You're thinking it's got to be 80, 82. It's 80. So closest multiple of 4, I to the 80th. You got to fill that extra spot. 80 plus 1, 81. Our job, get the closest multiple of 4 to 81 that we can get without going over. It's an 80. That makes that +1. I to the first, that's just an I. Answer, it's just an I. All right, let's do a couple more. 6. Now, when you do this assignment, there are some humongous numbers that get thrown at you. For example, I to the 2003. So you're getting out your calculator right now. You're like, 2003, I need a number that divides, but is it? So work your magic. See which number divides by 4, which one's a multiple of 4. So it's got to be 2000, 2002, 2004. 2004 goes over. So your closest multiple 4 is the 2000. And then don't forget your I to the third. 2000 plus 3 gives you 2003. But it doesn't matter how big the multiple is. If it's a multiple of 4, it's a positive 1. I to the third, that's negative I. Answer, negative I. I'm thinking one more, guys. All right, let's get a colossally humongous number. I mean a gigantosaurus number. What do we got there? 5324. 5,324 is our giant number. Oh, no, sorry, 5326. Sorry about that. So 5326 is our giant number, and we need the closest multiple 4 without going over. So you're working your calculator, maybe it's 5322, maybe it's 5324, maybe it's 5326 on the nose. So closest multiple of 4 is going to be the 5324. But don't forget, you still got 2 more i's you have to include, I squared. So this plus that gives you the 5326. Now it doesn't matter how big it is, if it's a multiple of 4, it's going to be a positive 1. You've got memorized I squared, you've got it memorized. I squared is negative 1. 1 times negative 1, my answer is negative 1. So make sure you've got those first 4. I to the first, I to the second, I to the third, I to the fourth. If you've got those first 4 memorized, the rest of it's a piece of cake.